Okay, so we might be back. Let's get rid of that black box. There we go. That was weird. Oh no! There's so many of me. Technical mishaps. Go figure. I'm also just guessing that the stream is back up. I have to double check to make sure that we are at the very least up and running. Thank you very much, Adobe Creative Cloud. Okay, yes. So the stream is coming back. I'm Ray Catolo. Consider this a reboot of not Cheers, that's for sure. Although cheers to that. We were getting ready to talk about the Can-Am Pick 4, but now we need to get everyone back in on the fun. That includes getting Mike Prebosi back and also getting back up onto SRN1, which will be happening in a second. I don't know if we're streaming back on Facebook, unfortunately, but again, this is what happens when we stream with very minimal funding. I think we're back up now.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're back up.
I'm getting some great.
I saw you on the feed. It was just you for a second there.
Oh, that was close. We almost had another meltdown.
Dude, come on.
It's not my fault. I have a $1,000 laptop that we are streaming off of, and it for some reason cannot handle 18 programs running at once in 80-degree weather.
Yeah, here we go with this again.
Yes. Let's just. If I had $30,000, I would put it in on one laptop, and then it will blow up. That's my plan. That's my grand plan with this whole show.
Let's just move on here and go.
That's what I was trying to do, but then you decided to start complaining. I wanted to go into.
Are we live again? Are we live again?
We are live again.
Oh, hi guys.
And there's Rod. Are we already getting ready for the Pick 4 at London?
No. Can I say something real quick?
Please.
Rod, was that one of the most brutal drives you've ever seen in a big race like that ever?
On who?
The 8.
That was tough because that horse was parked the whole way.
The horse was stuck on the rail.
No, the horse outside of him was parked the whole way.
Oh my gosh.
But while I've got y'all here, you can see the post parade coming out behind me.
Oh, I like that.
Oh yeah.
So, and right here, look at these two guys. We're live right now.
Oh, there's Nick Surik and then other boy. And Joe Bongiorno.
Won the big race. What do you think?
Some luck. Hope we need a little Canadian luck.
They need a little Canadian luck, they said. Good luck, guys.
Wait, did I just call that Molson beer? You can get that after the race. They have a ton of it all over the facility.
How about he knows everybody? Like he's there and everybody's around him all the time. It's unbelievable.
I guess that's what happens when you walk towards the paddock.
Very busy night, I tell you.
They look pretty confident too.
Well, yeah. Did you watch
towards the racetrack right now?
Well, he's a confident person anyway.
Yeah, but I will say that horse did run huge at Philly last time. That was a giant race.
Mm-hmm.
What number was Paul? Oh, Paul was on the 8 horse, right?
Yeah.
We're live.
Watching this race.
Hold on, guys. We're getting guys going out to the post parade, so if you guys are quiet, you can actually see them. We got more coming out here. That was the 4 with Scott Young.
This is for the 8th race. Scott Coulter. Is this a grassroots or a gold final or a gold division?
This is the grassroots.
Grassroots. This is the 8th race at London, where Rod is currently just meandering. There's traffic behind him.
Grandstands.
Yeah, but you missed the traffic that was behind you. I saw a car with its lights on.
Hey, Mike, I'm watching the half right now. Is this where? Okay, then he pulls first over.
Yeah, just watch it, Ross. You'll see. It's unreal.
Well, the thing with that race on the Commodore Barry also was the fact that
Can you see we got more horses coming out behind me here?
Yes, there's the 6 with Dexter Dunn, and there's Jameson on the 7, or is that Waugh? That's Waugh on the 7. It looked green for a second.
Bro, you need to get me something from Waugh while you're up there.
I actually just got done talking to Brent Holland.
Nice.
He's
I talked
gunning,
to
right?
him for about a half hour. Those that don't know, I have known Brent since I was about 5 years old. And Brent is a great guy. He said down the highway tonight with Ideal Jimmy.
Oh, that's probably the way to go from the rail there.
He's not letting anybody go.
He
And
shouldn't.
I mean nobody.
He shouldn't.
Yeah, but with Sintra scratching in the race, it's crazy now. I mean, because that horse was going to win.
Sintra was
No,
not
he
going to
wouldn't.
win.
Cintra's not that good on the half anymore.
Sintra was never getting a check in that race. You kidding me?
Nah.
You're wrong. You're completely wrong.
Can't get around a half.
Sintra wasn't going to win that race.
Okay.
No way.
Whatever.
No way. No. Heck no.
You can think what you want. I can have my opinion too. It doesn't really matter. 'cause
Well,
he's out.
Mike, what we're trying to convey to you is that your opinion here is wrong.
No.
One of our
I wa-
guest handicappers, is right behind me, so I'm going to meet up with her. We stopped at the LCBO earlier. If you don't know what that is, that's the Ontario liquor store. So she just got done working. She's right behind me, and this is going to be her first time on the show.
Nice.
Ooh. I'm taking backlash on Twitter as we speak. So
I don't know. It looks like from your camera angle, Rod, you're thinking she's above you.
No, but she just showed up. So
Hey, who is it?
this is Shay Sumner, everybody.
Hey,
Everybody,
Hey.
Ross.
Hey, am I everybody?
Mike and Ray.
Hey, Mike and Ray.
Hello.
Am I everybody? I'm confused.
She just got done working, so we're walking back towards the grandstands right now.
Oh. Hey.
Where's Double Trouble at?
We're going to find her.
Double
Oh boy.
Well, I guess what we have you here, Rod. Race 9's coming up. I wanted to get through the Can-Am. We didn't because we had an inadvertent shutdown for some reason of our equipment.
Oh, nice.
Rod, do you have your pick 4 on hand? You want to quickly run through your ticket?
I might. Shay, flip this page. I do have my pick 4 on hand.
All right.
I'm going to run through it very quickly before we get into the crowd here. Front leg, 1, 2, 3, and 4. My key horse there is going to be the 1 off the rail, Brett McDonald, for his dad. Came from way back at Woodbine last time, raced very well. Should be close again. Second leg, I'm 3, 4, 6. Key horse in that race is going to be Morning is Broken. Very sharp effort on the front end last time. The 11th race, I just hit the all button. I think it's very wide open. Anybody can win there. And then the final leg, which is the Camluck Classic, 1 and 2. I'm really thinking about keying the 1 based on what Brent told me earlier.
Well, Brent was
Down the highway.
Brent was also talking about sending Ideal Jimmy in a feature that Standardbred Canada had up on their site a couple days ago. That seems like it's been the MO from the moment he even saw he was listed on the horse. What's interesting, though, is, Mike, you're opening up your ticket the same way. You're taking the 1, 2, 3, and 4.
All right. Hey, I'm back in the crowd here. Let me show you guys this crowd real quick.
All right.
And let me jump off because I can't hear anything you're saying now.
Okay,
So-
fantastic. Just take over the show.
All right. Look at the crowd. Don't say anything so you guys can all see it.
This crowd at the Camluck Classic brought to you by Kellogg's. Kellogg's.
Massive.
They're
All right.
great.
We'll talk to you guys before the Camluck.
Hey, Rod.
Bye, Rod.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
And there he goes. The man himself, Rod Allums Jr. The man
Black
who
and
wears aviator glasses just because his star shines too bright for all of us. Or you just can't handle how bright we all are. I don't know how it works anymore. London's race 9 is coming up in a couple minutes. We might as well just rip through this now. Mike, first leg of your London pick 4. Rod talked about starting with the 1, 2, 3, and 4. Interestingly enough, that's the exact way you started too.
Yeah, I think those are the 4. That Kylie Seelster's 8 to 5 in the morning line, but I just she shouldn't be that low. Some of these other horses, might be just a hair better, over the half-mile track. The 2 had a bad post last time, was parked most of the way. The one raced extremely well, like Rod said, from the back last time at Woodbine against, some tough ones. I do think it's the inside 4 there.
Now, Russ, you made it as far as you did. You got beat out by just circumstance. I imagine you have a sharp insight on this first leg of the late pick 4.
Oh boy, it is a real circus. I'm still trying to get over that earlier. It's just mind-boggling. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna go with my top pick. So Frisky.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm kind of feeling not too frisky, but I'm kind of just like trying to stay professional as much as I can. But it's not going.
I'm just letting you know, Russ. If your pick 4 pays over $1,000 and you hit it, you can take your shirt off on the air. I'm giving you permission. To, as much as it.
Well, that should increase rating.
That might scare off a few people, but anyway. My top pick is So Frisky. Had the 9-hole last time at Flamborough. Didn't have it was tough. I mean, the horse was first over, raced pretty well, finished third, and the 2 prior starts to that won pretty easily. Should get an easy lead on the front here. For 4-1 seems a little high to me. So I'm gonna use that one on top. My second choice, I'm gonna go with the 1 horse, Salisbrook Jesse. I know the horse doesn't have a lot of speed, but the horse has been racing pretty well the last couple weeks. Horse made up a lot of ground the last race at Woodbine / Mohawk, or wherever you call it nowadays. Horse made up like almost 14 lengths and still finished 4th by a length of 3/4. And I don't know how you not use that horse on the ticket. It's just mind-boggling. And then my third choice, I'm going to go with the 4-horse Kylie Sealister, like you guys said. You get Trevor Henry, and he was a beaten favorite last time out. I don't know what happened. I know horse was first over. It was a bit disappointing, but it is what it is. And then my fourth horse I'm going to use is Royalty again. You get Jody for Stephanie Jameson. The horse has a win at Grand River last year, 1-for-8 lifetime. So we'll see what happens. It was a good effort last week with Mark St. Louis, and now coming over to London for the first time besides the qualifier, of course. We'll see what happens there. Could be some value there. So I'm going to go with those 4 horses.
As for me, I am in agreement with So Frisky so much so that I think I will unbutton this top button one more time.
No.
Fine.
No.
I'm gonna button it back up. I'm sorry. I want to apologize to my parents. I want to apologize to my pastor. I want to apologize to everyone I just let down in my moment of weakness. I hope everyone can forgive me as I wake up again next to a sewer drain, wigged out of my mind tomorrow morning. But So Frisky, I still, no matter the sinfulness I commit on whatever evening it is, this horse has a lot of speed, enters off a first over trip last out to finish 3rd against similar, if not better. 2 starts before that, won easily as the favorite. 3 starts before that, won real easily as the favorite. And so long as she has those kind of miles in her, she should go straight down highway, not to hell. Church Bells, great segue to hell, if you ask me. Can show speed, I imagine, from this inside spot. 2 starts back, launched from post 10 against non-winners of 2. Even though she came home in 33-3, which not even the great Annihilator could pace home that quickly, she should be able to get into the mix from that inside spot. And while it has been closers tonight at London, the first 2 legs I feel like might be able to cater a bit more to speed since these are the younger horses. But I mean, at the same time, I could end up being wrong, but Church Bells might still be in that striking spot to potentially pull off a minor upset. 2-3 for me in the first leg of the NAHU pick 4. The second leg is race 10, another grassroots division. This one for 3-year-old filly pacers. Again, Mikey Mike, 3 deep.
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me get this ticket in real quick.
All right. Well, in the meantime, we'll scroll our tickets up on our feed.
Okay, so 3 deep in this race. It's the obvious 3 horses. I'm 2, 3, 4. The 2 raced really well, I thought, last time. Got a little bit of a drop there at Flamborough, but had tough trips prior to that and finally broke through, draws well. Worth a use. The 3 Sugar Shadow, 3rd time back for Greg McNair. Jameson shows up. Terrible post at Woodbine, and those were okay races. From those tough spots. The horse kicked 27-2 last time. if this horse can get around the track, it's probably going to be tough. And then the 4, Twinbee Betty gets Wah. Stacy Barn is on fire, basically winning with everything. Did win off the bench, and then had missed a few weeks, scratch sick, things like that. Tough trip. Definite use 2, 3, 4.
Russ, does your ticket have those numbers?
Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm sending a message.
1, 2. I'm giving you more than 1, Russ.
Nobody's prepared apparently for this.
Yeah.
It's all because Rod left town.
I know Rod totally screwed up this show,
and he took my heart with him.
Oh man, that sucks. Well, oh well. Well, he's having a good time. Let him enjoy himself. And anyway, I'm gonna go with an upset here. Nobody likes this one horse, Winsalt Parison, and I'm just like, what is wrong with this horse? There's nothing wrong with this horse at all. At least I don't think so.
Non-win is a 5,000 life is pretty brutal.
It is, but the horse didn't race bad, and the horse did win at 12-1 with, I believe that's Eddie Green. Am I correct?
It is, yes.
And the last time had the railed, I don't know why the horse didn't leave. I have no idea. And now in the Scott Coulter, in the hands of Scott Coulter driving, and for Melissa Larimore, I hope I said that right. But anyway, first time Scott Coulter, horse will probably go at least a second or two faster with him driving. And, got the rail. Horse has speed. Why can't this horse go off at 3 or 4 to 1? I mean, I know people were like, oh, but that doesn't matter. The drivers don't make a difference. Hell yeah, they do. Are you kidding me? The drivers do make a difference. Like earlier with Trevor Henry winning on that Hanover horse in the 5th race. That made a hell of a difference. Trevor Henry knows the track at Western Fair. Jason Bartlett does not. Even though Jason Bartlett does race at Yonkers and he does amazing things there, great. But Trevor Henry knows Western Fair better than anybody. If you guys watch the track on a regular basis, he knows the track well. But anyway, I feel like this horse can go right to the front. I don't think anybody catches this horse at a nice price. And then my second, I used a bunch of horses here. The Goodnight Irene had an interference at the start. Horse still won it at 4 to 5. And non-winners at 12 at Flamborough. That was a good mile. Gonna have to, if you can do that mile again, then you'll be all right. The 3-horse Sugar Shadow, I think the morning line's a little low on this one. 0 for 4, never won a race yet. Does move inside. First time at Western Fair. Didn't race bad the race at Grand River last year. It was all right. The 4-horse Twinbee Betty. Sean Stacy won with another with a horse I believe in the opener tonight. So if you're betting the Sean Stacy horses, I probably would want to bet this one too. I don't know what happened in that last race. He was at the half and then he just faded back to last. Now you get Lily Roy the first time, so that will benefit. The 5 and the 6, you definitely got to consider in here. The 6 is the big favorite and morning line favorite in here, but you're going from the 4-hole to the 6-hole at Western Fair, and it's a tough post from out there. And I'm going to use 6 horses here, 1 through 6.
Wow. Okay.
My wallet does not allow for that because last time I tried to take more than $15 out, it bit me, and I still have the scars to show it. But my lawyers have consulted me that for this to stay a family show, I cannot whip them out at this time. Meanwhile, I start with the 2 Goodnight Irene. Russ mentioned that mile she enters off from? That doesn't make any sense. Point being, she wired her competition as the odds-on favorite, despite interference at the start. Wired them in 57 and 3. Some decent miles over the bigger track, but in all honesty, it seems like she has speed that is better catered to the smaller oval. And that could just be enough to allow her to be able to flourish just a teensy-weensy bit more. I think I throw on the 3 Sugar Shadow, if I'm not mistaken. I forget what I meant. Oh, wait. No, I have the 5. Pardon me. Behaving myself. Yes, of course, because this is Gerard Deemer's horse. Shipping in from Rideau Carlton, racing over the 5/8, racing decently over the 5/8, but again, another one that seems to show an ability to grind. And with how the track's been playing, she could end up being in a nice tactical spot to strike late and pull off a bit of a minor upset, especially for a barn that, while they have most of their success over in Ottawa, it seems like there should be sharp enough to transpose that over to the London area. And if not, Morning is Broken is probably the horse to beat here. Went wire to wire last time out against Similar at odds of 2-5. And then before that, had been racing decently against Similar in the past. The question is with her, just does she show speed from that outside post, or is she placed into a stalking spot? Tough to tell, but for me, it's 2-5-6 in that second leg. Third leg is a City of London final for horses in gelding pacers, $31,000 purse. 8 horses going postward. I understand why Rod hit the all button. This seems like an all button kind of race, but Mike, you discipline yourself. You find 3 to use.
Yeah, I don't think it's an all button kind of race. The two Cam's King have been racing very well at Woodbine and open claimers, and then shipped here, and got a win at 1-9 in one of the eliminations. Draws well, is going to be close early, and is a definite must use in the race. The 4 Silas Sealster, another one. This is more shipping in from Woodbine. Had a rough time in that Flamborough grassroots. Just pitch that race. Sportsline, that was a really fast race there. 51-4 Flam. This horse just, wasn't getting around the turn there. Pitch that race. Prior to that one from the 9 hole at Woodbine, at a big price. This horse has a big chance, especially, with Dunn driving from this post. Another one worth using. And then the 7 Boulder Sun, probably likely favorite in the race. McNair, you get Billy Davis. Post is tough, but another one that won the elimination, is racing well. And the straight numbers are 1 and 2 at Woodbine. This horse has faced, horses like Battle Strong, Better Moon on Over. That horse won at Woodbine tonight. Worth the use for me, 2-4-7.
Now, again, Russ, I pose this to you. Rod hit the all button. Do you hit the all button?
No.
Oh! I like how decisively you said that and how insulted you were. This is drama.
But I did go 5 horses though.
Close enough.
I mean, I can't use them all though.
No.
I can't use Cheddar Bay.
No.
Even though a cheddar pretzel would actually taste pretty good right now, but
In your mouth, maybe.
I don't know about all that, but anyway, in this race, I'm going to use Silas Sealster as my top pick. Dexter Dunn gets in the saddle here, and not in the saddle, but in the bike, whatever you call it. But the horse raced very well in the City of London elimination last week. Went a nice 57-mile. Now this week you get Dexter Dunn, positive change if I ever saw one. That horse will probably get bet down to 6-5, maybe even money possibly. Like I said, it could be anybody's race for second, third, and fourth. I'm going to go with the 2-horse Cam's King. Evelyn Harms training this one. This horse has done a nice job so far this year. 5 for 15. Last year, 0 for 19. Couldn't sniff a jock strap. But this year, this horse has been racing really well this year.
Better analogies.
Yeah,
No, he was just so excited from the image of a jock strap that it like, you see what's happening to me right now?
Yeah.
I can't.
But
Even
anyway, ever since this horse has turned 4, the horse has been racing fantastic. And now you get Scott Young for the second time. Horse raced pretty good last week, coming home in 29-4. Didn't really have to kill it, but that could be my second choice. And then my wild card play. I got a wild card play for you guys.
I love wild card.
The 3-horse could upset in this race. I do like Bobby Shepherd getting on this horse the second time. Was first over last week to Cam's King. If you're using Cam's King, you got to use Made to be King. And, Bobby Shepherd gets on this horse for the second time in consecutive weeks, like I said. Could the horse turn the tables? Maybe if Silas Sealster's no good, maybe Made to be King could show up at 10 or 15-1. And the other 2 horses I'm going to use are the 5 and 7. The driver change on the 7 concerns me a little bit. I kind of wish Jody would have driven, but the only problem was he's got to drive his own. So, that's the only concern about the 7. The 5, Trevor Henry for Ian Moore. They're always a dangerous combo. And last week they finished second by a half a length. So I'm going to use 5 horses here: 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. But the 3 is the value horse for sure here.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with you there, as the video feed is showing Mike's ticket and not my ticket, so it wasn't as triumphant a segue as it possibly could have been. But my handicapping angle for this whole race is closers, horses that are going to pile drive the pace setters in that final eighth of a mile so hard that they go crying home to their mommy mares, going, "Wah wah! I scraped my knees because I couldn't go fast enough." Made to Be King is one of those horses that I think can pull this off. Last out, rode that cover, got into contention, did finish second to a horse that wired the field. But there is so much speed in this race that I think my pants are going to fly off at any moment. I can't handle it. There is so much speed to the inside, so much to the outside. It sets up for a horse like Made to Be King or Silas Sealster, who, while this one did break over at Flamborough in that grassroots division, came back 3 days later with a pocket-sitting effort to pounce as the odds-on choice and win by almost 2 lengths in 57 against this group. So long as he sits in that stalking spot again, he shows no reason that he can't put off a repeat effort like that. And of course, his stablemate Missile Sealster might be able to pull off a similar stunt, given that this guy also has speed, but can also stalk the pace. As the odds-on favorite last out, finished second to surprising credit, tried to nail him on the wire, but came a half length short, admittedly. That was his second start over a small track, and his third start up in Canada overall. The fact that he came back as well as he did from Pompano Park in that non-winners of one in Mohawk is enough of a sign that this horse is improving. He's making only his 5th start, as opposed to these other ones that might have more because, you know, they raced as 2 or 3-year-olds. This is a real inexperienced son of Bettor's Delight that's improving with each start, and I can only imagine in the right spot with the fast pace up front could be suctioned into the contention late. 3, 4, 5 for me. And then, the main event, the smackdown of the evening. The 157. It's a $57,000 final. Excuse me. I thought it was 150. They found $7,000 extra. Good for them. Camluck Classic. Scratched down to a field of 6 with Sintra and Trump Nation both out. Trump Nation spiked a slight fever. Sintra, I can't recall what happened, but by my guess, it was also due to sickness.
No, it was, he had a foot injury.
His foot got sick. I didn't finish my sentence due to foot sickness. Now, Mike, you did have Sintra. You thought Sintra was one of the horses to beat. I didn't hear from you. So, are you going to stick with Done Well as a single?
No, I'm going to use the 3.
Okay.
The Wall, who I think was massive in that Philly race when, driven hard the entire way around. But I feel like if he would go back to his Levy-type trips where he would sit and try to one-punch, that sets up perfect for this race because you got the one. I know Jimmy's already said he's going to go. Done Well has been flashing speed. Southwind Amazon, Pallone sort of has one way to go. And then you got, Rock and Ron, who likes to be up near the front. And they've been closing tonight. This horse can sit, perhaps trip out a little bit, and then come, with that one big one-punch move. He's won races and beat these horses at big prices in the past on a half-mile track. He draws perfect. It's a short field. I think he has a puncher's chance in the race, depending on how it sets up. I do think the 2 is the horse to beat, but the 3 is definitely worth using in the pick 4. So I'd be 2-3 to finish.
I'm 1-2-3. I'm not leaving Ideal Jimmy out in the event he is able to wire them, considering how strong of a contender he was all through the Levy series and the final. I'm 1-2-3 there. Russ, though.
It's a 1-horse race. I don't know what everybody's looking at.
Are you
on
Done Well?
Yeah, the only question
for him. Not an even spot.
Is it going to be a track record? Who's going to run second? That's the 2 questions I got in this race. Ideal Jimmy, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I know he's moving inside. He's had some tough trips at Yonkers. Yonkers, they don't race. They just sit in a single file most of the time. I don't care for it. None of us watches that track. Nice horse.
Dunwell, you have to say Dunwell has had 2 perfect trips in a row at Flamborough. You have to say that.
Of course he did. He's the best horse. What else am I supposed to say?
Okay.
He had perfect trips. He's gonna get another perfect trip, I think, as well. Everybody's trying to.
I don't think he gets a perfect trip in this race. That's not going to happen.
Well,
not with everybody going.
Well, I know Ideal Jimmy's going to try and leave. I think Dexter's a very good driver. He knows what he's doing. He's a hell of a professional. Brent Holland's a heck of a driver too. But when the money's down and I have $100 right here, who am I going to use it on? I'm going to use it on Dexter Dunn. And yes, I know it's going to probably be 26-27 going to that first quarter for sure. There's no question about that. I know people are saying the wall has a heck of a shot to maybe upset. The horse has outran his odds almost every week. I mean, he won a couple legs of the Levy Series earlier in the year, but he even beat Ideal Jimmy in that one Levy race on April 6th.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't surprise me if the wall could, like you said, could split Ideal Jimmy for second. I mean, it could easily happen. But Zalwin Amazon is the only horse that scares me in this race. The only one. That's the only horse that threatens the two. I like the fact that Dave Pallone gets on the horse, and that horse also draws inside. Obviously, again, the horse is handicapped every week at Northfield. Horse has been racing nice 51 and it had a nice 49 4-mile finish in second to Bully Pulpit. I'd never seen that one before, but Uta Shark actually raced at Rosecroft a couple years ago, so yeah, so that should be very
different kettle of fish for this horse, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a little tougher. But anyway, I'm using one horse in the pick four. I'm singling Done Well. Southwind Amazon gets second. The Wall gets third, and Ideal Jimmy gets fourth. So I'm going to go 2, 4, 3, 1, and I'm singling in the pick four. And then here's my ticket. 1, 2, 4, 5 with 1 through 6 with 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Single to 2 is $24. Save the extra $6 for sheets on the way home.
Here's my ticket with 2 minutes to go. I'm 2-3 with 2-5-6 with 3-4-5 with 1-2-3. I punched it for $10.80. Mike, your ticket.
1, 2, 3, 4 with 2, 3, 4 with 2, 4, 7 with 2, 3. It's 14.40. I played it a couple times.
All right. So after this race at London, we will have to rip through the Can-Am pick four. They're getting ready to go for that in 12 minutes. And then we'll be taking a short timeout and come back with previews.
No, they're on the 9th, Ray.
Okay, then never mind. I am incorrect. We have time to talk about other things that are not the Can-Am pick four as of yet. However, the main concern currently, race 9 from the Raceway at Western Fair District with 1 minute to post. The 4 Kylie Seelster on the board at 3-5. Second choice then at 3-1, the 1 Salzbrook Jesse. Right flank, So Frisky, the 2. Up on the board is the third choice at 9-2. Royalty, again, the only other close threat, as she's the 4th choice at 5-1 to everyone else in the double digits.
How's the 3-22-1 in the race?
That's what made me punch the pick four.
Crazy.
That's what made me punch the pick four. I saw that. I don't like Kylie Seelster at that low a price.
I don't either.
She's incredibly beatable.
Terrible favorite.
It's not the best favorite in the world. The 2's actually the value in the race at 9-2.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
I like 2 also. I think it's. I want to see what these exactas are paying these 1, 2, 3 here a little bit.
I will admit, Church Bell should be 22-1, but I don't think the horse should be 9-2 on the board either.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree with that, but I mean,
yeah,
they are closing tonight.
And my Nats are about to lose this game. I can't wait.
Well, at least you don't have money on that.
We don't care about baseball.
No.
I'm live to the 2 and the 3. Mike and Rod have the 1, 2, 3, and 4. I forget who Russ has, but I trust it's going to be the winner. This is the
1, 2,
first
4, 5.
1, 2, 4, 5 for Russ.
Yes.
I tried to give you the compliment, but instead you gave me the correction. $15,000 guaranteed NAHU pick 4 starts here in race 9 at London. Field swings into the stretch. Grassroots division. approaching the start, and now they're away. So Frisky to the inside, fires out with Church Bells alongside towards the center. Kylie Seelster and Sporty Song from the far outside now floats back for a position rounding the first turn. Field led here by So Frisky. The margin 2.5 on Salzbrook Jesse, skimming the cones into the pocket. Church Bells away third, moving into the back stretch while Kylie Seelster stalks fourth and now tips off the pylons for Henry. And Kylie Seelster at 4 to 5 now marches onwards after So Frisky coming to the opening quarter. Royalty again behind the top 4 from 5th through a 28-second first panel. Back 6th around the turn comes Ivanka with Sporty Song and Mary Red. Kylie Seelster cannot clear So Frisky. Young gave him the cold shoulder, and now Kylie Seelster ducks into the pocket, moving towards the half. Behind the duelers sits Salzbrook Jesse, locked in briefly, but now McDonald has room to tip out, force 3 high Church Bells, now catches the live cover past a 56 1/2, 28 1 for that second quarter, rounding turn 3 and onto the backside. In front, So Frisky, Kylie Seelster inside of Salzbrook Jesse on the right line, but advancing gradually. Royalty again, then tight to the inside of Church Bells, gapping cover. Long ways back to Sporty Song with Mary Red and Ivanka to 3/4. So Frisky in front by 2. Outside Salzbrook Jesse locks in Kylie Seelster as 3/4 clicks in 124 3. Final turn now. So Frisky has to turn away Kylie Seelster once more. She's surging again into the stretch. So Frisky ahead of Kylie Seelster by 2. Room for Royalty again to slip through the inside for Jameson as the line looms. Royalty again and So Frisky. Royalty again. Maybe narrowly there on So Frisky. Then Kylie Seelster and Salzbrook Jesse 154 4.
You know, you could see coming around the turn, Jody was going to win the race because he's the only one that has a brain in his head. I mean,
He also just loves the pylons. That man
well,
can
yeah,
ride.
he never going to leave the rail. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I mean that's automatic. But somehow, like they let him up the rail like that. It's just ridiculous.
I don't know if you guys were watching my motions down the stretch, but I was like, "Come on, baby, come on!"
No,
come
I was
on.
watching the race, not Russ.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Russ watch the race instead of watch the race.
No, I know.
That seems wise. I mean, you know, I do like appreciate you and all, but
It's okay. It's all right. Just how in the heck did that horse go off 7 to 1?
So Frisky lost that race because she drifts so badly off the rail too. That's what.
I mean, that's just the horse raced very well too. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's a fast race for that place.
5, 2, 4, 1. The unofficial top 4 is Royalty again. Kicks off the pick 4 for Russ at 7 to 1 and knocks all of us out. I can't believe. Of course I missed something. Why
I don't know.
wouldn't I?
Jody won that race. I mean, there's just no.
Sky Young did nothing wrong in that race, by the way.
No, the 2 race great. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, yeah,
No.
Mm-hmm.
Jody won the race.
At all. Like you said, you weren't feeling Kylie Seelster at all. You were not feeling that one. You were
No.
right about that.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should have just skipped that one and taken Jody instead. Obviously, the race is over now, but
Yeah. Kylie Seelster, not necessarily the best small track horse. I also realized I forgot to flip it to our rate. We had our tickets going the entire time. I didn't get to flip it to our Dandy race graphic, which I don't have on us anymore. This is why you don't clear out files on your computer, because you never know where everything is. So,
Right.
which then raises the question: how did you delete it in the first place? I'm asking the same question. But
Yeah.
Royalty again kicks off the NAHU pick 4. Russ advances. We're knocked out.
did Rod advance or no?
Rod did not advance. He had the 1, 2, 3, 4 as well as.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
But So Frisky only lost that race so narrowly. That wasn't necessarily a terrible bet to start off. But Royalty again, the much more lucrative contender to take in that situation.
You know, I'm trying to hit this late pick 4 at the that late pick 4 that they have at the Camluck Classic every year. If I hit this tonight, this will be the 4th year in a row.
So you should have taken the wall in the last race.
Hey, Hey, if it
He's
gets
gonna
down
get
to
that same
maybe
trip.
maybe
He's
I'll
gonna
play
get
it
the
back
same
up.
exact trip as you just saw right now.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, good. We'll see what happens. But
Meantime, we're going to take a quick news break for our radio listeners on SRN1, 148.ca/1. We're going to come back here on North American Arts Update, run through the Can-Am Pick 4, talk some running aces and Mohawk Park, but of course the main attraction remains the Camluck Classic. That's going in approximately 40 to 50 minutes. You don't want to miss it. We'll have the race call here, of course, by me. Who else would it be? Sugar? No. More North American Hearts Update coming up after the news, which I have to go find now. I have to find the news from Phil Hong because on our reboot, everything we had prepared and ready to cue went down. So if you bear with me just this one little passing moment, here is the news.
Philip Hong in Woodbridge. Police are looking for 2 teenagers after a Keswick robbery. Police say 2 youths entered a convenience store on Queensway South early Monday morning, spraying an employee with a noxious substance before stealing items and then leaving. The suspects are being described as white, male, between 15 and 17 years old. Anyone with information is urged to contact York Regional Police Hold-Up Unit or Crime Stoppers. The president of a Brampton temple is going to jail for rape. Parveen Sharma, who headed the Hindu Sabha temple, will spend 2 years in prison after he was convicted of groping and raping a 25-year-old woman who was renting a basement apartment from him in 2015. Sharma has appealed the conviction and is out on bail pending that appeal. The victim is quoted as saying that the incident had emotionally broken her. A representative of the Hindu Sabha temple says Parveen is no longer associated with their congregation. Georgina has voted to keep a 2-tier municipal government. Upon possible consolidation and amalgamation from the province, the town of Georgina has voiced its support to keep itself within the region of York. Ward 3 Councillor Dave Neeson says he and his colleagues on council are facing an indeterminate province, asking to keep the system as is. Part of the resolution also asked for more cooperation with the 6 northern municipalities of York Region on services like waste collection and animal control. The weather, sunny, 17. I'll have more updates on SRN1. For now, I'm Philip Hong.
Thank you, Phil, and welcome back to North American Harness Update. It's been so long since I've actually introduced the show by the title of it, but you can tell that a man is out of his elements not only because, well, this is not my show anymore. This is now a Powerade show. Powerade, the urine of champions.
hey, Ray, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, Mike, for earlier. I was a little overzealous. I get a little overzealous on nights like these.
That's fine. We're good.
You know, if you're around me more when I'm gambling, then you're used to seeing me like this. So.
Yeah, you know, sometimes when people are around me, I just start punching bitches, you know, left and right. Just fist.
Where did that come from?
It came from years of suppressed anger, frustration, and sexual isolation.
Yeah.
I feel so much more relieved and calm now, ready to talk about the Can-Am Pick 4, which after losing $10 in the matter of 2 minutes at London, I can only feel much better about losing $3 in this Can-Am Pick 4 sequence. Starting in race number 10 at Woodbine Mohawk Park, as it does each and every week. I have my ticket here. Mike has his ticket there. I'm just going to run through the 4 legs as I see them in terms of my live contenders, who I think to take, and how I see the races unfolding. So that first leg, I start with 3 horses. Of course, Cranberry Brie to the inside. You don't hear me say this often. Driver change on this horse from the trainer to Christoforou. Gets an inside draw. Had been racing decently against a bit weaker towards the end of last season and has come back this year, not necessarily in peak form, but seems like she's been improving off those 2 starts. And now with an inside draw, could be a live long shot in the first leg of this sequence, just to try and get some kind of trip to work out towards the end. Tequila Party I also use. If you look or wait, no, I'm thinking of a different horse. But this one has had 2 outside posts in her most recent starts, and because of that, has been kind of taken out of contention. Finished 5th by 5 lengths last out, still closing, and then before that was 5th by 12 lengths to Swift Alley. Who I don't really, I forget the context of that one. I don't know if she's a stakes horse or not, but the 5th by 12 lengths does catch the eye. Also, Corey Giles, the trainer, does catch the eye, because if I'm not mistaken, his barn has been performing very well as of late, and with this horse getting an improved draw, she could put in an effort much similar to the mile she went 3 starts back, where she finished 2nd by a neck. And then, of course, tearing a strip off 2 straight wins, moves up in class. She's on the upswing in terms of improvement and should keep going on there. Second leg over at the Meadowlands. I'm too deep now with the scratch of Jack Vernon. Diogi tends to have one run. If he puts in that run at the right time, which is off cover and into the stretch, he might be able to dash by everyone to win. If not, in my dreams, has to gun. If this horse is even the slightest bit live, he has to gun from that outside post. Given those last 2 efforts and the fact that this horse got away second from post 6 over at Yonkers 4 starts back, he has the speed to launch from that outside post. And again, there's really no reason he should not be up close to the pace. Leg 3, there's 3 horses for me here. Ramblin' Gamblin' Man, a former preferred type, making his way back up the class ladder off a sharp 25-4 final quarter, finishing 2nd as the odds-on favorite last out. Moves up in class here again, but gets an inside draw, which may help his off-the-pace tactics. But again, he's one that just needs to make his move at the right time. Take Wow drops back to a level where he performed well at 3, 4, and 5 starts ago, and then Pedro Hanover exits the Confederation Cup. I'd be surprised if this horse is even close to that 10-1 morning line, because 3 starts back put in a giant effort as the favorite to win against non-winners of 6, and then went first over the start after that. Tossed that race completely, excuse it. This horse adds Lasix, should bounce off of that mile and be another live long shot here. And then my ticket will hinge on the 6 Traffic Jam in that final leg. Sure, you have Diamond Tooth Gertie dropping in class back to a level where she won, mind you, with a perfect trip. She got a perfect trip there over at Philadelphia to win that race against Similar. Does drop in class, does race for the hot Richard Johnson barn. And you also have Lions Jenny Lee, who also drops in class. And then to the outside, KG Rocks, who last out should have won if Whiskers and Kittens did not get room laid up the inside. Yet, in this Knowledge of 6,000 group, one mare always holds firm and is consistently in the mix. That's Traffic Jam. She's a single for me. So I'm 125 with 710 with 148 with 6 for $3.60. Mike, talk about your Can-Am ticket.
Yeah, so I think this is a decent sequence. Only 2 deep in the first race. It's the 10th race at Mohawk. I think the 2 is a big chance. Top pick. Ben, outside post last 2. Like you said, Giles is hot. McClure sticks. Kicked 26-3 last time. There's no Lovely Donnas in here. This horse has a big chance and is being bet right now. Let me see what the horse is on the board. 5-2. So, one with that post should be a little closer early. If you look back to the May 3rd line, the horse was right there, and then went wire to wire from the 9 hole on April 25th. So I'm using that one. And then the 8 Beach Bar, very obvious. 3rd time, Stacy's off. You get McNamara, and this horse is a head away from Swift Alley. That horse is in tomorrow in one of the stakes races. One off the bench, kicked in 28 to win. Very sharp, and I think is probably the horse to beat, especially with the catch driver on. So 2-8 in the first leg. I did like Jack Vernon in that second race, but that horse is scratched. So I'm 4 deep there. The 2, Wayne Camino. This horse had really no chance from the 7 hole at Philly. Draws inside, gets a big track. I lost to Scirocco Rob, who raced pretty well tonight. 2 back. So when you get Trond, he's a definite use for me. The 5, Mississippi Storm, off a 6 scratch, but raced in the Graduate 2 back. No chance in that race. This horse always kicks home well. You look 26-3, 26-2, 27 flat. You get Tetrick now. 0 for 6 the year, but 9 wins lifetime on only 31 races. That one's a use. The 6, Stonebridge Gamble. this horse been racing at smaller tracks. Raced well at Pocono at 1-9. That was a layup there. And then caught the 7-hole at Yonkers, pitched that in onwards of 8. Prior to that, last time raced at the Meadowlands was second in a 53-mile to You Need Stones. And then, faced La Grange, back in April. But that horse was very hot at the time. That one's a use. And then the OG, he's the 7. Sponstead gets this horse back on the big track, off a win at Pocono. Gets a set up in here. Is probably, going to be flying late. It's just a matter of will the horse run out of racetrack. If you go to the 11th race at Mohawk, I'm 4 deep in that race. Ray like the one, Ramblin' Gambling Man. It's just a matter of, can he time that rally? It's been second to the last 2. He's a use. The 4 take a while. Draws inside. I would expect some more speed now. It gets away from Nirvana Silster, West Lucky Terror. Humboldt is in this race, and I'm going to use that one also. This horse drops. Really, is racing well at this level in early May. Usually, I think the drop will do the trick. And then the 7 Cinnabar Dragon had no chance to back. Completely lacked room the last 2 starts. You get Harris now. And it's probably going to be a little sneaky in here for Boyd. That 4-1 morning line, I would expect a bigger price. I'm not using Pedro Hanover. That horse can beat me. Then the 11th race, Meadowlands 11. I'm 3 deep to finish. The 1, Lines Janelle. This horse, has been racing at Yonkers from outside post, gets the big track and moves inside. It's going to be a price. The 6, like Ray said, Traffic Jam. This horse is very consistent. 3 wins this year. Tripped out last time to win in a fast time. And then the 8, Rockin' the Boys. This is Harris. Got beat an inch last time. Numbers of 3,500. Steps up. He doesn't really know he lost that race. He's 0 for 8 this year, but the barn's hot. I'm 1-6-8 to finish. So my ticket was 2-8 with 2-5-6-7 with 1-4-6-7 with 1-6-8. It's 19.20 for 20 cents.
And that Can-Am Pick 4 sequence gets started in the 10th at Woodbine Mohawk Park, which I imagine is getting ready to go in a couple of minutes.
It's 5 minutes to post. You probably have 7 or 8 minutes to get it in.
Alrighty.
Well, I wish you guys luck tonight.
I hope to get my $3.60 ticket in to make up for the $10.
Smaller ticket tonight. Normally I play a little bigger, but
I'm gonna get ready to play a ticket tomorrow that's at least $10 or more.
I bet my London Pick 4 for $10 and lost it by a nose. Russ, rest in peace, Russ. We lost him.
Did we lose Russ?
Well, no, he just froze and then he jolted in place. So, welcome
no.
back. You're back now. Don't pick up. We don't need to see a close up. We're good.
Oh, okay.
I can smell the breath from here. It's fine.
There's pick 3 at London here too. You could mess with.
Oh, my Wi-Fi went to Kapusky, so I'm using.
Oh, I went on vacation there one time. Great waters.
Yes. So we are good at the moment.
Meantime, I think they are parading for this next race at London. 0 minutes to go. Yep. 9 to 5 on morning sickness. What's this horse's name? I just lost it. There we go. Morning is broken.
Morning sickness?
I knew it was morning something. I didn't know what kind of morning.
12 to 1. Are you kidding me?
The 4?
Yeah.
Well, no, now she's 10 to 1. Underlay.
You think that's under?
Up here, guys.
I'm not. Wait, Russ, are you leaving us?
No, my internet is crapping out.
Oh.
It's back.
Yeah, you're fine. Twinbee Betty, I don't like on the small track. Off that last mile. First race.
Connections.
Connections can get you so far unless the horse is crap.
The horse isn't crap.
The board says so. The only reason this horse is 9 to 1 is because of connections. If anyone else trained this horse, anyone else drove this horse, probably like 15 to 1.
Okay.
They're good connections though.
Any connection for you, Russ, is better than the one you have right now. But
I agree. 100%.
This horse was parked pretty much every step last time. I mean, I just.
Well, 2 minutes.
A lot faster race.
2 minutes to put your money where your mouth is. I would not though, because there are a lot of germs on money. because they're handled by a lot of men, dirty men, grimy men who have not heard the difference between a shower and a lard pit. Which, by the way, if you go to your local Barnes and Noble, if they still have those, my new novel, Baths and the Lard Pit, comes to shelves.
We're gonna have to talk about that on the road tomorrow. For sure.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to that tomorrow too.
Oh yes, if for those wondering, Russ and I will be competing in the Millennial Handicapping Contest over at the Meadowlands Racetrack before they have to kick us out for winning too much.
I'd like to see one of you guys take that down. That would be great.
Well, Russ won it a couple of years ago, but then has not won it since, so that must bode well for both of us.
Yeah, it's been a 3-year drought.
Ah, I found it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a $46 winner in that contest. You got to pick a long shot to win the contest.
You gotta find a long shot. That's the harder.
Is it like a pick and pray type, or is it live bankroll?
It's a pick and pray.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes a difference then.
If you get Steve Smith to win, then you win.
That's a tough card tomorrow.
It's a challenging one when you got a bunch of Yonkers drivers and then you got drivers coming for free hold. It's a circus.
Yeah, I mean that's you're gonna get prices. There's no clear favorites. The first 6 races, it's extremely difficult. I thought.
It's races 2 through 10 we're competing in.
We will tag team, hopefully in the races, and hopefully one of us can take it.
You're not speaking of collusion, I hope.
No collusion, Hanover.
No, maybe a motel room if we do well, but
I don't know about all that.
Wow.
we're
They're already making plans for you.
all I want to say is if the night goes really well, we'll see a cash flow. There'll be a cash flow streaming.
Right. I know for one thing there'll be some White Castle at the end of this night.
What do you get if you win?
$2,500.
Is it free entry?
Yes.
Nice.
Free food.
Well, then there's really no point in sitting there picking chalk. You might as well take shots. I mean, because you really have nothing.
No,
to lose.
not free liquor. No free liquor. That's the downside.
And if you bet, last year if you bet Joe Martin, you won the contest.
Oh right, victory days will win. I love
That
that.
horse is back tomorrow and has a chance. That horse is back in tomorrow and has a big chance to win.
Race 10 from London swings into the stretch. Another division of grassroots in motion, approaching the start. And now they're off and pacing. Good night, Irene grabs the lead. Twin B Betty then blasts from the center. In between, Sugar Shadow crosses in front of Windsong Parisian as Twin B Betty goes wide into the turn, caught 3 high there, while Good Night Irene leads into the backside. Outside, Twin B Betty now surges to the front. Sugar Shadow behind them in third, with Windsong Parisian back in fourth. Behind Behavin' Myself. Then back to Morning Has Broken ahead of Salutation. Last of all, Flying Style, first quarter up in 27-1. Wah with a firm grip on Twin B Betty leads Goodnight Irene by 2.5. Sugar Shadow stalks the top pair from third, turning into the lane first time, while Behavin' Myself floats off the cones with Windsong Parisian on her back. Now they've flushed cover. Here's Sugar Shadow from third, moving first up after Twin B Betty to the half mile. Goodnight Irene sits the pocket, the half clipped 57-1, a 30-second breather on turn 3. Twin B Betty leads by a length to the backside on Sugar Shadow, inching closer, now a neck away. Inside, Goodnight Irene locked is Behavin' Myself, ready to tip 3 high here for Shepard. And Behavin' Myself angles off Jameson's helmet while Sugar Shadow takes a narrow lead. Inside, Twin B Betty battles on while moving out wide comes Salutation. And Morning Has Broken on that one's back. 3 quarters in 126-1. 29 seconds that third quarter, stacked with only 3 lengths covering the field into the final turn. Outside comes Behavin' Myself to take the lead from Sugar Shadow. Twin B Betty cuts the corner but loses ground into the stretch. Behavin' Myself overtakes Sugar Shadow, battling on with Goodnight Irene looking for room and Flying Style on the far outside. But Behavin' Myself gets up by a half length to win over Sugar Shadow, then Flying Style in 156-3. Behavin' Myself I should
That
have
was a fun race.
I should have played the pick 3 there, but I didn't. Even though being myself went off the favorite. What am I even saying? 5-2 there on Behaving Myself, getting past Sugar Shadow, pressing Twin. I'll give this to you, Mike. Twin B Betty raced much fiercer than I thought she would, but she did get pressed, and that's most likely why she folded as hard as she did
Yeah, I
there
don't
late.
know how you can bet the 5 over like those inside horses. I'm just
Gerard Deemers, and off the pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely got a good drive there, but that horse will beat me every single time.
Yeah, I had to go 6 deep there. It was tricky. I mean, it raced exactly like to form. It was
This horse was 18-1 in Rito for a numbers of 1.
yeah.
Out.
This is
Out. and was 5-2 in this race.
this is a grassroots race. I
don't care. Like this.
they're basically non-winners of 1s and non-winners of 2s.
Again, I'm gonna reiterate that the horse was 18-1 at Rito last time, and you took 5-2 today.
I took the winner. That's the difference.
That's
So,
fine.
Mark,
Listen. That kind of stuff can beat me all day long. It's fun. Like I don't mind. I'd rather have Waugh at 7-1 on the front.
What do you think he
Not
pays?
at Woodbine.
What do you think the 5 horses paying like in the pick 4? You think he's really like a 5 or 6 to 1 shot in the pick 4?
Oh, easily.
Possibly.
Right.
I have a tough time gating. I'd say you probably get a decent payoff just because it was a fairly wide open race.
Right.
But if you can get past that, if you get past the third leg, which is probably the most wide open of all of them, I think you'll be alive
I'm
with some
over
decent
too,
money.
So what do I know? But I just yuck.
I went 5 deep in the third leg, and I'm singled in the final leg, so we'll see what happens.
Meantime, let's catch where they are at Woodbine.
They're getting ready to go.
All right, first leg of the Can-Am pick 4, then getting ready to get underway. Oh, they're moving into the stretch. No, they aren't.
Are they? I'm
Nope.
going over there right now.
That was a glitch as I turned on my HD feed.
Good luck to you guys, all right?
5-2 here on to Tequila Party. Then 2 horses at 3-1. Terran a strip, the 5, and Beach Bar, the 8.
That's a great price on the 8.
Beach Bar
Great
now
price.
up to 7-2. And
That
then,
one's getting bet a little bit.
Yeah, he figured too.
yeah, typical off the driver change.
Well, Chad picked him on top too, and he.
Ah, yes.
If I had to pick a horse in this race, just looking off the horses here, I would probably take the 8 horse in this race.
Wow, thanks,
Yeah,
Russ.
It's a very good price.
Yeah, I agree.
I would love to not advance. I just, at this point, I donate money to the tracks. They've done enough for me.
You don't have any 8?
I don't like the 8.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Why not?
Let me look back at the program.
Yeah, you get Paul McDonnell now, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. And then you get Travis Coney on the 5, and
See, outside post, 1 on date. Oh, wait. Oh, McDonnell hopped on?
Yeah.
That's why I thought Mark Stacy was driving.
No, that was just a placeholder. He was never driving.
Yeah, I did. You see, I didn't have the luxury of being able to figure out if he was actually driving the horse.
I mean, you see that sometimes. You see like trainers listed, and then they put their actual driver up because it just happens once in a while. You know what I mean?
I've never seen that. No.
Like for example, Rosecroft. Like one time I saw Joe Offit listed as driving. I was like, "There's no way." So they put Timmy Offit in the bike before the race began. So like driver change.
A lot of times, I mean, at the Meadowlands, sometimes the trainers will drive, but up here, you rarely see it.
Oh,
Very rarely.
the gate swings into the stretch. First leg of the Can-Am pick 4 approaching the start. Fields sent on their way with play guns towards the center, leaving out. Inside goes West Beach, bolting towards the top. Far outside, Beach Bar makes it 3 in a line past the first 8th. Stalked by Tequila Party, getting away 4th. Cranberry Bree then 5th under the line first time. Flash a Smile 6th. Then back to Terran Strip, leading Medici, Hanover, and Twin Bee Friendly checks in the rear. Round the first turn, Beach Bar crosses over to take control from West Beach. Then a gap of 3.5, 4 lengths to Play Guns third through a 27-1 first quarter. Tequila Party then races fourth, about 6 lengths off the top, then a gap of another 2.5 to Cranberry Brie, ahead of Flash a Smile, tearing a strip about 12 or 13 lengths off the leader. Still back to Medici, Hanover, and Twin Bee Friendly. No one off the pylons, moving to the half as Beach Bar leads West Beach by a length and a half. Third, Play Guns as Tequila Party draws closer through a 55-4 half, 28-3 from that second quarter. The pace hot as Terrana Strip's now underway from the back, trying to flush cover into the final turn. Beach Bar's leads diminishing as West Beach draws closer to McDonnell's helmet. Play Guns begins to drop back to the inside, forcing Tequila Party off the cones. Terrana Strip catches cover now, second up with Cranberry Brie locked to the inside, but three-quarter bound West Beach, the only threat here to Beach Bar, past three-quarters in 124-1. Beach Bar turns first. West Beach in second, drops back 2 lengths. Tequila Party gives chase and drifts towards the center. From in between horses, tearing a strip into the inside. Play Guns retreats, but Beach Bar has blown him away. Beach Bar drifting through the stretch here, leads here by 3.5, 4 lengths. The margin expands as she coasts home. Beach Bar wins by open lengths over West Beach, then Tequila Party and tearing a strip. 150-4. What did I miss there?
Well, I mean, I'm serious, Ray. Like, if you look at that, if you dismiss that horse on the driver, but if you look at that horse, he's.
Up, Rod's back, and we have.
I mean, you had to use that horse on top.
Nope.
Hey, can you guys see me?
Yes, Rod, we know you're here. You don't have to always tell us you're here.
These are the drivers for the Camluck Classic tonight. All 6 of them, with the 2 scratches.
Wait, Rod, I have a question.
Okay.
So with the 2 drivers that no longer have horses, did the track shoot them? Where did they go? Okay, I guess we will never find out what happened to the last 2 drivers. I hope they have a pleasant harvest now that they cannot forage for the winter now. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm using farming analogies. There's Joe Bongiorno giving a wave. And I imagine Dave Pallone's up next.
Yes. I did talk to Joe Bongiorno earlier. He did say that the wall just needs to get a trip in there. So I don't know that he's going to be firing.
Well, he shouldn't. His best races have always come from off the pace. There's Dave Pallone stepping forward. Sugar Doyle's up top going.
I did talk to Dave Pallone.
Oh, yes?
And he said that Southwind Amazon might be a step below these, but if he gets the right trip, if they go really quick up front, he should be right there at the finish.
Okay, now you had to have talked to Billy Davis Jr. then.
I didn't actually talk to Billy.
God damn it, Rod. You talked to everyone but the next guy in line. Did you talk to Wah?
I talked to everybody except Dexter, Billy, and Louie.
Oh. Well, Wah probably would have said, the horse can really get off the gate, and then afterwards we will try and go to the lead. We will seize control. We will seize the means of production. And in this, for some reason, Louis Wah comes out as a communist. He's a Marxist in this quote as he talks about leaving the gate with Rock and Ron.
Oh, and by the way, hold on real quick, just so I can get her attention after they grab all the shirts. Hey, Amy! Amy! She's purposely not looking. I told her I was going to get her on camera tonight. She's not looking. They're throwing T-shirts to the crowd. Blanchard should throw one to me. That was the worst throw of all time.
Well, no, that was a great Blanchard throw, though. It's proportionate. It's relative.
Hey, that throw was better than the Nationals relievers lately.
Joe!
Well,
We're live right now.
Throw Rod a shirt.
We got Joe Bongiorno here.
Oh, and Brent Holland.
Right here.
Wow. Look at that confidence, Brent.
Take your chances.
You know what? He's going gonna be mixing it up. The horse has been real good, so I'm hoping we can shock a few people.
All right, good. Joe Bongiorno.
Dexter Dunn wanting to pick Joe Bongiorno's ears so he could probably have a little snack before the races.
This is pretty good, though.
We got Amy live on video, finally. Greg, what do you think about the big race?
Short field, but still a great race.
Absolutely.
Beautiful night, and you know, got a lot of great drivers here too. So no, I'm really excited about it.
I think we're all excited. We're ready for it to come.
We're ready, absolutely, and yeah, I don't know what kind of a mile we're going to see tonight. I don't think we're going to see a track record, but
You never know.
you never know.
There's a threat of that early speed, so
I have a question, Greg.
Well, the crowd's having a great time. Great
Ray has the question for you.
If I lose my $2, can you write me a reimbursement check?
Yeah, but it's Canadian.
No, Canadian. So you're getting about
$1.20.
65.
It was worth trying. It was worth trying.
It was worth a shot, you know.
That's all I could ask for. That's all I could try for.
That was pretty good. That
Oh.
was pretty good.
You got to see the driver introductions there. And by the way, I'm on my half gigabyte Canadian limit. If I start breaking up,
Yeah, you're probably getting close to that, Rod.
Don't worry, I lost my signal earlier too.
I'm trying to conserve data. I've hit my half gig in Canada for the day, so
Uh-oh.
that's
You need to stop streaming porn during the day, Rod.
Ah, yes, that's how all men lose their streaming data.
Porn Hanover, 154 and 3. Woohoo!
Well, guys, I will let you go until the Camluck comes, and I'll be back. I got.
Please don't use the word comes.
Mike right now and do a segment for them, and I'll be back here in a few minutes.
All right,
Make sure, Rod, that you pimp NAHUpicks.com.
Rod, make sure when you talk to them, ask which mic are you again.
Yeah.
Tell Bruce he still owes me $10 from 3 years ago. I'm gonna say-
Don't do that, Rod.
Rod has left the building.
No.
As
Well, he's gonna go make that show a little bit more worthy to watch while the real show is still here.
All right. Let's. Were we doing any aces?
we have to rip through aces.
Oh.
We got pick 5. We can talk quickly about the pick 5 jackpot. And of course, for those that missed this analysis, we will have our tickets up on our website, NAHUpicks.com. This is just kind of to add on commentary to our otherwise.
Meadowlands is getting ready to go too. Just.
Do we
You got like 2 minutes, I think.
do we just post the tickets to our website then?
We could. I mean, I'm just asking what we're doing.
In all honesty, that probably might be the best approach, so we could fit everything else in. Because I still want to talk about those Some Beach Somewheres.
I think
Okay.
you might want to do that.
Yes. Oh, why do you like things?
Maybe we'll see if we'll do an extra on Sunday. We'll see about that.
Yes, that would probably work out best to supply the coverage that Running Aces deserves.
While you guys do an extra on Sunday, I will be sleeping in my bed.
Well, Russ, you're certainly not.
Sunday.
Russ
He's gonna rest on Sunday.
is certainly not sleeping in my bed when he drops me home at 2 a.m.
We're not gonna get home till like 3 o'clock.
I know. We're gonna see all of the truckers on the side of the roads doing like their satanic dances, trying to uplift the spirits.
Dude, you're gonna make me go out this entire trip.
If only Mike were that easy an audience.
I know. I'm trying to liven up the crowd a little bit.
Well, Meadowlands is getting ready to go. I have their feed up right now, so we can keep an eye on that. Meantime, we can talk about the stake. I need to open up my past performances for tomorrow at Mohawk, because they have some big stakes going on.
They do.
They have 2 divisions of the Some Beach Somewhere, both for $80,000. One of which I talked with trainer Linda Toscano earlier this week for a feature article for Mohawk Park.
She's a good lady. She's a really good lady. Too.
Oh, she's a darling, and she's just a great person. I'll Lots of people can be darlings. She was a great interview, and I've had some weird interviews. She is a great interview. If she's not known for anything else, for being in the Hall of Fame and one of the best female trainers in the sport, she will be known as a great interview.
Hey, the first time I ever went to the Hambletonian, she won that race with market share.
So we found where most of her luck comes from. The Hanover Hustler.
I don't know about all that, but they deserve all the credit. So.
Well, we do have 20 seconds to go until this next race of the Meadowlands. So after this leg of the Can-Am Pick 4, we're probably going to have to go to London. But then after that, we're going to get into these some beach somewheres, damn it. My sweat.
We'll try to do an Aces on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do an Aces extra for their jackpot Pick 5, which will have an even bigger carryover, most likely.
What's their carryover anyway?
$1,300 currently.
Hey, beats what we do at on our Pick 5.
Hey,
that will be discontinued in the fall, by the way.
That's like a 2 days. That's a 2 days.
But also mind you, Russ, the pools aren't necessarily gigantic, so you have a better chance of snagging that jackpot.
Well, there is a chance. I mean, I did look at it about a week and a half ago. And you were picking pretty well at running Aces, so I have to give you credit, sir.
Oh, you didn't see the rest of the races where I was totally wrong.
I'll tell you what, there's been some prices there. I mean, like bombs.
Yeah.
50, 60 to 1 shots. Crazy.
Yeah. How is Made to be King 21 to 1 in this race? Are you kidding me?
Well, I'm looking at this race at the Meadowlands. That's lining up. Scratch down to a field of 9. Mississippi Storm, the even money favorite. This field of 9 is in motion and approaching the start. In My Dreams on a gallop, back trotting, hard to handle for Dubé before the start while timing the gate. Yet all of them are off and trotting. In My Dreams got himself together and he blasts away from the far outside. Warwi whip shaped then towards the inside, fires out, and Buen Camino gets towards the cones and to the lead into the first turn. Pressed on by Warwi, ship shape, and In My Dreams 3 wide. Back fourth comes Mississippi Storm, the favorite to the opening quarter out of Barry Black away fifth. Stonebridge Gamble then ducks to sixth out of Diogi seventh. They're then followed by Whether or Not and Silvermass Volo in the back of the pack, as In My Dreams almost galloped at the start. He now leads through a 27-3 opening quarter. Buen Camino, Smedshammer with a firm hold on him, sits a loose second by about 2 lengths. Warwi ship shape behind them from third, while Mississippi Storm's unhurried in fourth. Barry Black remains fifth, as Stonebridge Gamble tips off the cones and now advances for Buter uncovered, carrying Diogi into contention second over. Whether or Not sticks towards the inside, and Silvermass Volo remains the trailer. Past the half. In My Dreams clicks the half in 56-3, 29 seconds that second quarter. Mississippi Storm flushed from fourth, now progressing into second and only within 2 lengths of the lead coming to 3/4. Stonebridge Gamble gaps that cover while Buen Camino's shuffled to the inside. Warwi ship shape now back to sixth as Mississippi Storm overtakes In My Dreams. Mississippi Storm blows past at 3/4, leads here by 3.5. Outside, Stonebridge Gamble tries to move into second but goes off stride. Diogi now with room to trot as Buen Camino angles off the pylons. 124-4 for 3/4. Mississippi Storm ahead here by 5 as Buen Camino tries to slim that margin. Deeper on the track, Diogi, as In My Dreams drops from between horses. The line though coming, and Mississippi Storm cruising here to about a 3-length victory over Buen Camino and Diogi there in a photo. 152-3. Okay. My Meadowlands picks have been so crap towards the end of the card. I've been so wrong. Like illegally wrong in some of these
like that
races.
one?
I did not have Mississippi Storm.
Oh.
But then again, I knew those were...
Let's just hope it's not like that tomorrow night.
I haven't even looked at tomorrow nights yet.
Well, I mean, the thing about that horse was off a 6 scratch and a couple bad races against tough horses. I mean, this was a big drop for him.
Well, the other thing, too, is I can't like every horse in the race. And these last couple of races were admittedly wide open.
Yeah.
Without looking at the board.
Yeah, I think that horse won't pay 4 to 5 in the pick 4 by any means.
No.
I mean,
Meantime, we have 40 seconds to go here till this next race at London, the City of London final. And then we will have the Camluck. We'll go over just for the Camluck. And cap that pick 4 at the raceway. So we have 20 seconds to go here till the third leg of the pick 4, where Russ, who are you live to?
I'm alive to the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Okay, so almost everybody. Let's hope that the 1, 6, and 8 forget where the finish line is.
No.
As they're getting ready to line up. 6 to 5 here on Sela Seelster. Second choice then at 3 to 1, the 5 Missile Seelster.
Should be another good race.
Third choice at 9 to 2, the 7 Baldur's Son. I feel bad for him, because usually the father should have less hair than the son.
I'm just amazed at the 3 horses 30 to 1. I don't see how this horse is 30 to 1.
Oh, wait, you're right. I'm going to put 2 to 1 on her. There we go.
I mean, if you're betting the 2, you gotta bet the 3 in here, right?
I like the 3. All right. Field for the City of London final. Rod, I know you're there, but the City of London final.
Here you go.
Oh, he's got a nice view.
Oh, his is more ahead of mine because I have
there.
the field at the start, and they're off from the center. Selas Seelster shoots out. Outside of that one, stablemate Missile Seelster blasts off. Then to the inside, Century Fury moves for a spot into the first turn. Going to yield the lead, though, to Missile Seelster to the backside. Missile Seelster ahead now by a length and a half from Century Fury second off the pylon. Selas Seelster moves from third and now charges after the leader coming to the opening quarter. Back fourth, Cam's King ahead of Made to Be King. They're then back to Cheddar Bay, and then Surprising Credit and Baldur's Son, 27-3 the first quarter. Selas Seelster, the odds-on favorite, leads Missile Seelster by 2 around the turn. Century Fury sits third into the lane first time, while Cam's King, off the cones now, ventures uncovered from fourth, now into third, and draws closer to the leader, Selas Seelster, coming to the half and on to circuit 2. Second up, Surprising Credit. Made to Be King then shuffled back as Cheddar Bay rides cover third over. Baldur's Son's fourth up in that flow past the 57-2 half on to circuit 2 and backside bound Selas Seelster facing no pressure. Cam's King stalled to the outside of Missile Seelster while Surprising Credit's yet to tip 3 high. Behind that one, Cheddar Bay now underway for Coulter with about 4.5 lengths to make up. With that all to the inside, Century Fury's locked as they clip 3 quarters in 126, 28-3 for that third quarter. Cam's King retreats. Missile Seelster now has room to tip out, but Selas Seelster, the story from the start, and she kicks for home in front. Outside, Missile Seelster trying to get to him, but Selas Seelster from wire to wire by a length and a half. Then Missile Seelster, Cam's King clung to third in 155 flat.
How about that view?
That was I'm going to use my one F word for the week, but that was freaking awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome, guys.
Did Ray freeze again?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just realizing, like, there's so many buttons to click. We may have missed that.
We'll get you all the views you want.
We'll have a perfect
Full
view.
access at the raceway. Bye, bye.
Cam's luck.
Well, we got to see it.
Yep.
That was a great view. I love that. That was great.
All right.
It was at least 15 seconds faster than what the TV one was there.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh,
We
it's.
got Lucarella.
Oh my
Live.
God, it's Lucarella.
Oh, Lucarella, all right.
$1,100 on the 50-50 in this guy, baby.
Did you hit it?
Look at this.
I got it, my friends. Look at this.
Oh my God.
Who's behind us?
That is awesome. Who is that? Rod, who is that?
Friend of the show, Lou Sorella, with us right now. Lou, who's your top pick?
Top pick for it.
Camluck.
The real, my friend, the real.
Ideal Jimmy's with
Ideal
me.
Jimmy.
Bang, bang.
Gang, gang. First turn, it's all over. Lights out.
I hope so.
Who's he?
I'm
Who's?
with
Why does he have a towel? I'm confused. Who's that guy behind?
Yeah, who's behind Rod?
We're going to get Maria's pick.
Let
Who do you like?
Let me see.
Pick one. Maria's got to pick one.
I gotta pick one.
Scratch.
In the contest, I'll take you to the 3 or the 6.
Ooh. She's got 3 and 6.
I've got an exactor box to win the contest. 3, 6.
There we go.
That's my pick.
Maria's in for 3 and 6. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. I've been photobombing everyone all night here.
This dude's photobombing everybody.
Everyone,
He said.
all night.
Oh, every single person. You must have some live leg.
Bang, bang. We got them all saying. We got them all saying.
Rod, get him another beer.
He needs another one.
Right?
Get him a Molson.
Yeah.
Well,
Rod, are you alive in any tickets?
I'm not right now.
No?
Are you alive?
I didn't see who won the first leg of the Big Four, so.
You didn't have it. 5.
Oh, no, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, so naturally the 5 wins.
Ross is
Nash
alive, though. Ross is alive. Inquiry here, though.
it's on the 7 now.
Well, the inquiry was on the 7, the 3rd place finisher.
Oh wait, the 7 finished. How did the 7 finish
The
3rd?
7 from No Man's Land finished 3rd.
Yeah, the horse dropped out past the half and came back somehow.
Now I'm trying to save the betters on this show.
Oh wow.
Well, since we're standing here, we got Lou Sorella.
Yeah.
Lou. Lou.
Guys, it's humid. It's 22 degrees here. Are we gonna see
That's
a track?
Celsius. Celsius.
Oh, okay.
73, 75. We see a track record tonight.
I
No,
don't think so.
Yes.
no track record. Unless the track record was set by Niatros back in 1970 and it somehow has not been
State
broken yet.
treasurer, Isn't it? State treasurer?
I don't think we see a track record tonight. It's a little bit too cool. It's really cooled off since the sun went down, but I'm still wearing the shades.
He's cool then.
Right?
The only way there is a track record is if Ideal Jimmy and Dunwell battle for the first 3 quarters and the wall comes
But
in
you
late.
have to remember, the track record holder is in this race. He's in this race. He did it last year.
Yeah, it's Rock and Ron.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wait, what was the time?
Because even a pleasure had it before.
19 and 2. Hit me.
Oh no! If we see 19 and 2, something's happening. Somebody's falling down.
They take those quarter bowls.
All I'm saying is that with all that speed, those horses are going to be hitting the wall.
That's what I think, too.
I gotta tell you guys, you know, I've been here all night long, and the crowd has not died down one bit. They're all waiting for this race, and the anticipation. You know, let me show you real quick because there are people lined up everywhere, all the way up and down the guardrail in the grandstands. I mean, they're lined up.
And they're all asking the same thing. Shouldn't this race have gone off by now? I have to go home and feed my kids. I left them on a leash in the backyard. Can we get this going? That's probably what half of them are thinking right now.
That's the last race of the meet, then. They're done.
Yep.
What's Lou going to do?
It's 16 minutes to post,
Okay.
which is fine. So we got 11:10 post time, and if I don't run into anybody,
You
we're gonna
almost
show you the whole crowd that's outside. I mean, this is just outside. Inside is completely packed. There are thousands of people here for this event. It's amazing.
Like I say to my doctor, you don't even want to look what's inside.
No, you do.
It's
And
crazy.
Really, the crowd is not as big as it was earlier outside, but inside, I mean, it's insanely packed.
Oh, there's one, man. Yellow shirt.
I'm getting into the loud part of the crowd right now.
What?
But my top pick, Ideal Jimmy, like I mentioned earlier, I talked to Brent Holland. He should be firing from the rail. He's not going to let anybody go.
Ideal Jimmy's 6-1.
Brent Holland is going to be absolutely gassing as soon as that gate opens up. And
I got news for you. This double's paying really good with the 1, by the way.
What's it paying?
$30. Stop when Amazon is low.
What's it paying with the 3?
At 5-1 right now, the 1 is extremely good value.
6-1.
Now, I'm actually going to go bet a few dollars on the 1 because 5-1 is way too high for this horse, especially since he's going to be on the lead and he's not letting anybody go. And I mean anybody. He will be on the lead and we are looking to finish the entire meet with a bang bang. Ideal Jimmy, that's me. We'll see you guys next week.
Rod Elms Jr., ladies and gentlemen, as my charisma is draining through my prostate, I am waiting for a potty break.
By the way.
Forget it. We got other things to talk about. We'll give you the update of what happened because they're already at the half. We'll tell you who won the race afterwards. We got to talk other racing, like tomorrow night at Mohawk Park. We can quickly rip through some of these. First division of the Some Beach Somewhere. Century Pharaoh enters off an 8-length blowout in the Ontario Sire Stakes Gold as the 1-5 favorite. Faces a division of horses that he beat recently, and ultimately the main question here as this horse gets ready for the North America Cup is who can beat him.
I don't think anybody beats him in that race.
I don't know if Russ has any insight.
I did not even look at it.
Okay, I will trust that opinion. That it's tough. It's tough to find a horse outside of him just because of how dominant he's been and how he's been improving with each start. Considering 2 starts back too, he parked the first half of that mile and still won by 3 lengths as the odds-on favorite.
I need something to catch Thor to V here to help me, but I'm not going to get it, it appears. Unless he freaking falls down. Oh, he's falling down.
Up. I think the 6th one. I didn't even have Humboldt.
Yeah, Humboldt. Okay.
No, I Caveat Rockland debuted well at the Meadowlands, then was in a tough spot 2 starts back when finishing 5th to Best in Show. That last race is not terrible.
Well, that horse took a death shuffle with a bad drive and had absolutely no shot whatsoever in that race.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, none. So I agree with you. I don't really like Better Up much in the race, but the thing is that the 3 is just getting better and better, and it's inside drawn. They're not going to take any prisoners, and a lot of these aren't very good. I mean, the 1, the 2, the 4. I don't really like the 5 much. He doesn't have to beat a whole lot in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably play, like a 3-8 exacta, hoping that they bet the 7 a little bit and, bet the 5 a little bit, especially with David Miller getting on that horse. And I think you can cash a decent exacta there, a 3-8.
I would be trying to go for that too. Maybe just hammer that exacta.
There's not a ton of value in the race.
Yeah.
I mean, not on the win end.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be 1-5.
Yeah, without even 1-9 perhaps. We move on from there. 2 races later is the first division of the Graduate Trot, where we have Atlanta making her 2nd start of the season off a 6 scratch, and then also Manchego making her 4-year-old debut. I didn't think we'd see this one as a 4-year-old. And here she is entering off a 55-3 qualifier behind stablemate Don't Let 'Em, who did scratch sick earlier tonight at the Meadowlands. Manchego making her first start of the season. I'm not a big fan of her personally, especially in this spot. Atlanta, how does does that 6 scratch really unfaze her?
I don't think so, guys.
Mm-hmm. What?
Very classy horse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened to Mike?
That's a good question. Did Mike have to get called out?
No.
Oh.
I guess I can.
Yep.
Who's the other contenders in the race? I didn't look at it, but I can.
Okay, so Eurobond to the inside is the Dominico horse making his second start. Custom Cantab raced decently last out off of that Atlanta race, finishing less than a length behind Muscle 'em Up in Crystal Fashion. For a Dreamer came home in 25-4 in that same race to finish fifth.
Crystal Fashion's a nice horse.
Crystal Fashion's not in this race.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying Crystal Fashion's a really nice horse. Too.
Oh, okay. That's
I think that Forward Dreamer, Forward Dreamer has a big chance to get in the exact in the race, just because this horse is a Woodbine horse, comes back home, has been closing well, has faced tough horses that had no chance last time, draws well. This horse has a big chance, and then Mission Accepted could get ignored a little bit in the race, especially off that post. Has plenty of speed to get close early and could end up with a pocket type trip because Atlanta's going to go. They're not going to. She's not going to sit.
Yeah. The main question, of course, is Atlanta short off that race? It's gonna be tough to tell, but I mean, Custom Cantab got whooped by her 2 starts back, and she hadn't even raced when she won by 7 lengths there in Miami Valley. For a Dreamer's probably going to be value on the board unless his morning line's totally wrong, which it tends to be a lot.
Well, no, Mancheco's going to take money. I think Run Direct will take money. I don't know what they'll do with the one.
Yeah. It's a tough race, but currently the only 2 contenders I really have marked are For a Dreamer and Custom Cantab potentially. Because Custom Cantab did race really well last out at the Meadowlands.
Yeah. And that horse won 13 races last year. Pretty good.
Albeit, in Indiana, I think.
Still, 500,000? I mean, that's...
Second division of the Sun Beach somewhere is the race after, race number 6. Best in Show enters off that wire-to-wire win in the Ontario Sire Stakes. Captain Ahab seems to be rebounding after a poor ending to his 2-year-old season. He came from off the pace last out the Meadowlands to finish third behind Albergo Hanover and Sports Legend, aged horses in that race. With a 50-1 mile coming in 25-3. Also here then to the outside, Bronx Sealster, winner of the Battle of Waterloo. And returning to the races with a second place finish, 2 Best in Show going first over. And then checking in behind him was Stag Party, now racing here from post 8. Came from off the pace as the odds-on favorite to finish third. And will now have to start from the outermost post. Stag Party, we definitely will probably see much more interest from him this time around. That was a decent race to come back to. Same with Bronx Sealster. So Best in Show seems like a vulnerable favorite to me in this race.
I think that he capitalized last time on the other 2 being laid up.
That's even what Linda said to me.
Was driven perfectly and, got the win. They were getting to him late, but, he held on to win. I like Bronx Sealster quite a bit. I don't think he was driven very aggressively. Kicked 26-3, was game the whole way. This horse made a lot of money. You're going to get a price with him as opposed to the 4, the 8. The 7 actually could take money off those 2 races. I don't know how the 5's going to be bet. So, I think Bronx Sealster's worth a bet. Was 7-1 last time. You're probably going to get 5 or 6. I like him on top. And, Stag Party could definitely jump up and beat these. They're going to start to tighten the screws even more on this one. It's a good race.
What about the 1? What about Fast and First?
I don't know. Not my kind, really, because, like Noah's Mill lost tonight, like in a claiming race, basically.
This horse was second to Century Pharaoh, though, 3 starts back.
Yeah, but...
As the favorite.
Yeah, that's when Century Pharaoh was coming off the bench, and you really didn't know what you were getting there. That was that horse's first race back, and this horse, this horse's 3rd start back. I just didn't really like the way that he raced last time. He's sort of a maybe for me, but you're going to get 20-1, so this horse was 54-1 against these same horses last time.
Just looking at the form though, like anyone could say Best in Show could win, Bronx Sealster or Stag Party could win. I'm still skeptical of Captain Ahab because it seems like he's probably going to try and peak for the Cup or maybe even the Meadowlands pace. But that's also just because of how just...
He could get a little bit of a trip in the race, too, and he likes this racetrack. mean, there's no question about that.
Except towards the Metro pace when he just totally emptied out.
No, that wasn't his day, obviously.
Well, that wasn't his time of year either. He
Well, he
didn't.
was 4 to 5 in the race.
Yeah, and then he went to the International Stallion Stakes and came up empty.
Hey, that Meadowlands race is coming up, guys.
Oh, we'll just give.
Live in my ticket to the 1, the 6, and 8 to finish.
They're paying good.
Well,
Are they?
Oh, did you just play a Meadowlands straight up, or you just played a Can-Am one?
Yeah, the Can-Am.
That one I don't know, but the pick 4 for 50 cents is paying pretty well.
for that Sun Beach Somewhere division, Fast and First to me seems like the live long shot to consider for the underneath spots. Of course, it's a high task to ask this horse to win against some of these other ones that are already coming back. The fact that Captain Ahab almost went sub 50 at first asking is noteworthy, but aside,
The 6 is like ridiculously low. $38. God, that's terrible.
there's a division of the Graduate then.
I wish you luck, Mike.
Race 7. Or do we want to? Are we just focused on this race of the Meadowlands?
Well, I am, but you can feel free to talk about the Graduate.
Okay, so the sole division of the Graduate pace draws 12 horses. Lather Up here enters off a blowout win against the preferred types here at Mohawk last out. A nice rebound to his race in the Confederation Cup, where it doesn't even show that he broke. I don't get why the chart doesn't say that he broke, but then again, Flamborough's charter has not really been up to the task as of recently.
Oh, it's been brutal.
Aside from him, Think Big, Dream Big has just been going giant miles down at the Meadowlands. The problem is he's fairly one-dimensional at this point, just coming strictly from off the pace. Yet, that could serve him well since he can outkick most of the horses in this field, given the right trip.
He was closing fantastic last week.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. I thought that horse was done at the top of the stretch. I was like, where the heck did this horse come from?
Even 2 starts back, the horse was loaded,
Yeah.
flying up the inside, and just unfortunately got beat to the punch by some bad dude in Skyway Quinton.
Yeah, you're getting a good trip here, Mike.
Yeah, I agree. I'm liking it. If the one's any good, I mean, there's no real excuse here.
The real crux to this race, though, this is very much cognitive dissonance occurring in podcast form. Courtly Choice has the second tier. He was one of the only horses I saw close on that racetrack at Philly that day, and it was because they went simply too fast up front. And he's the kind of horse that always does best when they go too fast up front. But it seems like now he might have some horses in his company that can get to the wire even quicker than him, like Think Big, Dream Big, for instance, towards the inside. Jimmy Freight returns to the bigger track for the first time after 2 starts over at Flamborough. But overall, the horse that pops out to me in terms of potential value, in terms of win potential, Think Big, Dream Big.
I think Lather Up is going to be extremely difficult to beat in that race.
Especially on a 7-8 mile track. Yeah.
I mean, he crushed that race last week, that preferred race. That was just, effortless almost.
Is Jody driving again this week?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you're definitely going to win.
I mean,
That's around that 49 last time, yeah.
I agree on the think big, dream big, but the problem is you have to pass them all. Jimmy's going to step up and win one of these races. I mean, he's been good. He just hasn't been, got stuck against Dunwell and no chance in that Dorsadoro race. And then, ran into Sintra first time back. He's interesting to me because I think he's going to get ignored.
I don't
like Lather Up.
I don't necessarily think Big, Dream Big is just going to take to the back of the field, though.
He's a stone closer, though.
The horse can get away in the mid-pack. He's just, for some reason, been opting to race that one way.
Okay. I mean,
Because you remember him last year.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like he's been driven maybe conservatively the last couple starts.
Without a doubt.
He's going to get a setup. I mean, there's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe the 7 horse was set 13-1 in that race at Meadowlands for third. That was crazy. That horse has been racing well. The Whiskers on Kittens.
Oh, that's also because that horse is basically the bolt the doer of that class level. Cannot win with anything but a pocket trip.
Yeah. Well, my buddies up at York Springs got a 5th place check, the Van Fleet, so I'm happy for them tonight. KG Rock's got an okay trip and got 5th in there, and yeah,
Wait, who won the race?
the 6 traffic jam.
Oh, of course I get my single home.
Yeah,
I can't get anything else but the single.
it happens, you know.
They hammered that horse to 6-5.
Yeah,
His horse-
understandably.
6-5 in this race, but
Well, Tyler Beer's been driving lights out the last 2 months.
I don't know. I got it. I hit it, but not for a lot of money. I hit it for, I think I doubled up or something. Big deal.
It's better. Hey, it's better than ripping it up.
It's true. I just, that should pay more than that, probably.
No, I agree.
Now then, the main event coming up here. All the horses are on the track.
Dunwell's 1-2. I'm not surprised.
Camluck Classic.
I'm surprised on the price on Southland Amazon. That's low.
5-1, yeah.
2-3 exact is $22. Yes, please. And the 3-2 67.
Oh.
Yeah, give me a few of those.
What's a 2-4 and a 4-2 paying?
We'll find out in a second.
Before I check here.
The 4-2 is 25 and 13. Wow, those are that. There's some inside money here.
How about the 1-2 exact paying $17? I don't think that's happening.
I'm surprised the 4-2 is paying that low.
It's a 2-horse race. I was talking when we were talking about the preview. The only horse I was afraid of was the Southwind Amazon. That was the only horse I was afraid of.
That sounds incredibly low.
It is. It is a little lower than I expected.
I feel like people are overestimating those open handicaps at Northfield. Certainly.
Well, it's a faster half-mile track than Yonkers is.
And London. London's a deep track.
Oh yeah, it's very deep.
It's not necessarily the easiest track for some to get over. That's why Polly Wally, when he shipped from London down to the Meadowlands, was lights out in that race last week. Albeit he also entered the Andrew Harris barn. Andrew can train a horse or 3.
Rocket Ron at 8-1 is not surprising.
Yeah, that
won last year.
I don't know why he's still racing. In all honesty, he's a conditioned horse now. He's not the same.
No. He got 1.7 million the hard way.
Still set 7-1 on the wall.
Yeah, we had Rocket Ron down at Rosecroft for the Potomac Pace last year. Nice horse.
Doesn't seem like there's any kind of show plunge.
Hopefully we can get 1 or 2 or 3 of these horses down at Rosecroft in November. And, 9-2. Oh, there's Rodney. There's Rodney boy.
Oh, Rod's back. Oh, he's at the bar. That's where I cashed my high 5 ticket.
Uh-oh.
As you can see, this just happened.
Oh, they were doing shots and then they forgot they have to go in their mouth. That happens all the time.
What are those Jello shots?
God, what's the combined age of those girls?
Me, Shannon.
12.
Raw hair.
No.
You guys fucking have fun. If you don't have anything other than done well, then you're gonna lose, okay?
Wow, she can read the board. Congratulations.
What's this here? Okay, so it's done well. Rock and Ron, who has to freaking
Ideal Jimmy.
boost it up to 6,
Ideal Jimmy. He's got the rail. That's my horse.
Let's go outside.
Yeah, we gotta go outside. We're gonna film this for you guys.
We're gonna film it.
Watch the 2 go wire to wire, guys. Easy money, guys. Easy money. Take it at 1 and 2 if you can.
Shannon, we're leaving.
I feel like I have to tell someone about this.
Ray, this is gonna be a track record. It's gonna be fun.
Oh.
We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Let me show you the screen here real quick.
All right.
Oh.
You got about a minute to start. I don't know what he's doing actually. Still,
It's a good crowd.
a very big crowd here.
It is.
Even
nice
though
crowd.
it's 11:15 p.m.
Very big crowd here. We're going outside for the race. And we got 36 seconds to post.
Okay, you're 7 seconds ahead of me then.
Yep, same here.
How long?
7 seconds.
Oh, that's not bad.
Nah.
But it'll be better soon. Bang, bang.
1-2 on Dunwell. My money's on the wall
Let's go.
at 8-1.
Good luck, Ray.
He's 12-1 now.
It's good value.
That's absurd.
He's got a shot.
Hello.
On the 3.
Southwind Amazon taking a ton of play here
Yeah.
as he's tied with Ideal Jimmy as the second favorite.
Jordan.
Oh.
We got Rod yelling at the track. That's
No, he's
all.
yelling at the women. But what else is new?
Hey, at least Rod's having fun. I wish I was there.
Listen, me and Shannon are just walking like we're walking normally, and Jordan's like, she's literally running in front of us.
The wings of the gate have opened.
We can't keep up.
Starter calls.
Here is the Camluck Classic from Western.
Inside out, Ideal Jimmy and Brent Holland, Dunwell, Dexter Dunn, The Wall, Joe Bongiorno, Southwind Amazon, Dave Pallone, Rockin' Speed, Billy Davis Jr., second tier to Rockin' Ron and Louis Wah. Scratched down to a field of 6. It's the Camluck Classic. The field underway. Dunwell outkicks Ideal Jimmy, and Dunwell dashes to the lead around turn 1. Ideal Jimmy on the left line now lets him go, goes off stride. Ideal Jimmy on a break into the backside, taking out Southwind Amazon. That leaves Dunwell on a loose lead. In front by 3.5 from The Wall, tightening in the pocket. Back third then comes Rockin' Ron ahead of Rockin' Speed. They're then followed by Southwind Amazon. Then last of all, Ideal Jimmy. 27 seconds the first quarter. Rockin' Ron actually in the pocket there. Behind Dunwell, the pace setter, unchallenged around the far turn first time. The Wall then back third, ahead of Rockin' Speed fourth, still fifth then into the stretch. Southwind Amazon and Ideal Jimmy just hit the top of the lane. Meanwhile, Dunwell ahead here by 2, passing the half with 1 circuit to go in the Camluck Classic. Half clips in 56 seconds, 29 for that second quarter. Rockin' Ron just sits in the 2-hole. The Wall floats off the pylons, and Bongiorno now underway with The Wall into the backside. Dunwell yet to be called upon. Bongiorno ripping into The Wall, and now within a length of the lead, coming to 3 quarters. Rockin' Speed on that one's helmet as Dunwell's headed past a 1:23-4 third quarter, 27-4, but Dunn sits chilly on Dunwell. Outside The Wall, drops back a neck. Behind him, Rockin' Speed, and then Rockin' Ron. They're homeward bound. Dexter Dunn has to call on Dunwell as The Wall's not done yet. The Wall after Dunwell. Deeper on the track, Rockin' Speed as The Wall comes to the line. Rockin' Speed chases, but The Wall gets up by a neck to win over Rockin' Speed. Then Rockin' Ron came late there after Dunwell. Ideal Jimmy checks in the back. The Wall digs in to Dunwell and wins in 152.
The wall, Russ. You don't listen to me.
I gotta tell you that was epic. And
You got 12-1 on the wall.
I talked to Nick Seward and Joe Bongiorno earlier tonight, and they both like this horse.
Here's the unfortunate thing. I didn't hit.
I said right on the show, this horse only needs a trip in order to win this race.
The horse went first over. He did more than a trip. He was the best horse.
He was ridiculously good in the race.
Here's the upsetting thing.
They're flying back tonight.
Here's what upsets me, okay?
Hold on. If you remember, on the show earlier,
I said 3-6.
Maria Sorella said 3-6.
Yep.
What did it just come in?
3-6.
Holy
That's what I'm.
Shots on the board. 3-6.
I have a 3 over the 1-2, no 6. I have the 3 to win and place.
Marina gave out the exacta. Marina just gave out the exacta. Seriously. That's incredible.
The Wall at 12 to 1 wins the Camluck Classic.
12-1 and 25-1.
Rockin' Speed second at 25 to 1. Rockin' Ron does get up for third at 9 to 1. Done well, the 1 to 5 favorite, faded to fourth.
That's why you don't bet 1 to 5s, Ross.
There's the Wall.
That's what it is, you know. I'm happy for Nick.
I mean, he was giant. He was giant, and that one thing I will say, the horse was huge in that filly race, and I said that. I told you right after the race, Ray. Remember this?
Yep.
How big he was in that race, and I thought, you know, he was huge in this race too.
I'm still annoyed that I don't have the exacta for 360.
Wow.
Is that how much it is? $360.
Yep, that was the probable.
Wow.
But I have the horse to win in place.
Go up on the same plane this afternoon. They're gonna fly back very happy.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm happy for him. If it was any other horse I wanted to see win, it was that one. But you know.
I'm just glad I made some money on the race.
And boys, I gotta go to work.
And that's a good place to end things off. The Camluck Classic.
Easy, all right?
Yeah, you guys, good luck tomorrow in the thing.
Thanks, appreciate it.
You take care, Mike. The Camluck Classic unofficially, soon to go official, goes to The Wall. I really should. I wish I had that, but then again, I'm having that feeling where I should have had more on this horse. That was a great.
The horse raced well.
Mhm.
Dexter's horse just ran out of whatever. I don't know what happened, but just wow.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm gonna say is let's wrap it up.
Yep. As the Camluck Classic gets ready to go official, we get ready to drift into our dreams while Nick Surk and Joe Bongiorno have way more money in their pockets than we do. Hell, maybe even Maria Sorella.
Right.
I've been Ray Catolo. He's Russ Adams. Mike Prebosi ran to do an emergency appendectomy on himself just because he was bored. Rod Allums Jr. providing on-site coverage at the Raceway at Western Fair District. We will come back with an Aces Extra on Sunday since we couldn't fit that in on the show. Aces will have exclusive coverage Sunday afternoon as I just saw $40 get deposited into my ADW. Yippee-ki-yay. Follow the show on Twitter at NA Harness Update. Like us on Facebook, North American Harness Update, so you can have access and get notified when these extras and shows occur. But otherwise, the Camluck Classic, well, who cares about Rod at that point? Done well, led the entire way, but in the end, he got hit by the wall.